Part 5 of the IRBM series for LDCE in Assistant Executive Engineer Examination. Preparation. Question 92. The size of bridge timber required for the standard spans up to 18.3 meters is: Option A, 250 by 150 millimeters. Option B, 250 by 180 millimeters. Option C, 250 by 240 millimeters. Option D, 250 by 200 millimeters. The correct answer is option A, 250 by 150 millimeters. Explanation. For standard broad gauge girder bridge spans up to 18.3 meters. The prescribed standard cross-sectional size for bridge wooden sleepers is 250 mm width by 150 mm depth, excluding notching. Question 93. In case of LWR track, full ballast section as specified in LWR manual should be provided up to what distance from the bridge abutment? Option A, 200 meters. Option B, 50 meters. Option C, 300 meters. Option D, 100 meters. The correct answer is option D, 100 meters. Explanation. According to LWR manual guidelines, a full ballast profile extending up to 100 meters on either side of the bridge abutments is mandatory to provide maximum lateral and longitudinal track stability against thermal buckling. Question 94. Clear distance between consecutive sleepers not to exceed on bridges in BG is: Option A, 450 millimeters. Option B, 600 millimeters. Option C, 510 millimeters. Option D, 500 millimeters. The correct answer is option A, 450 millimeters. Explanation. To prevent rail structural distress and ensure adequate load transfer on open deck girder bridges, the maximum permissible clear gap between adjacent sleepers on broad gauge must not exceed 450 millimeters. Question 95. Length of sleepers on BG girder bridges should not be less than: Option A, 2440 millimeters. Option B, 3660 millimeters. Option C, 3000 millimeters. Option D, 2600 millimeters. The correct answer is option A, 2440 millimeters. Explanation. The absolute minimum standard overall length of wooden or steel channel sleepers used on broad gauge steel girder spans is 2440 millimeters, which is equal to 8 feet. Question 96. Minimum length of steel channel sleeper in BG is: Option A, 2500 millimeters. Option B, 2440 millimeters. Option C, 2400 millimeters. Option D, 2600 millimeters. The correct answer is option B, 2440 millimeters. Explanation. Standardized steel channel sleepers introduced to replace wooden timbers on broad gauge girder bridges are manufactured to a minimum standard length of 2440 millimeters. Question 97. Length of bridge timber in BG is: Option A, outer to outer of girder plus 305 millimeters. Option B, 2440 millimeters. Option C, whichever is more in option A and option B. Option D, whichever is less in option A and option B. The correct answer is option C, whichever is more in option A and option B. Explanation. Bridge timber length must cover the full width of main girders with an overhang. Thus, the minimum standard length is 2440 millimeters or the outer to outer flange distance of main girders plus 305 millimeters. whichever value is greater. Question 98. For painting, the unit of rate is per. Option A, square meter. Option B, cubic meter. Option C, 10 square meters. Option D, 10 cubic meters. The correct answer is option C, 10 square meters. Explanation. In Indian Railways Standard Schedule of Rates for Civil Engineering Works, structural painting and surface protective coatings are estimated and billed in units of 10 square meters. Question 99. In case of derailment on the bridge, the extra rails provided over bridge to prevent damage and danger are known as Option A, stock rails. Option B, guard rails. Option C, check rails. Option D, wing rails. The correct answer is option B, guard rails. Explanation. Guard rails are parallel inner steel rails laid along bridge decks designed to keep derailed wheelsets guided parallel on sleeper decks, preventing vehicles from capsizing or falling off the bridge structure. Question 100. The minimum cushion specified over an arch bridge is Option A, 0.5 meters. Option B, 0.9 meters. Option C, 1.0 meter. Option D, 1.2 meters. The correct answer is option C, 1.0 meter. Explanation. To uniformly distribute dynamic train axle loads and minimize shock impact directly on masonry arch crowns, the bridge manual specifies a minimum earth cushion of 1.0 meter over arch bridges. Question 101. Open web girders of span more than how many meters are generally provided with camber? Option A, 10 meters. Option B, 20 meters. Option C, 30.5 meters. Option D, 35.2 meters. The correct answer is option C, 30.5 meters. Explanation. Open web truss girders having spans exceeding 30.5 meters are built with prescribed structural camber to compensate for vertical dead load and live load deflections under heavy train movement. Question 102. Depth of bridge timbers excluding notching should not be less than how many millimeters for BG? Option A, 100 millimeters. Option B, 125 millimeters. Option C, 150 millimeters. Option D, 200 millimeters. The correct answer is option C, 150 millimeters. Explanation. For broad gauge lines, the effective structural depth of bridge wooden sleepers after taking notch cuts over girder flanges must not fall below 150 millimeters. Question 103. The clear distance between bridge timbers at joints should not exceed how many millimeters both for BG and MG? Option A, 250 millimeters. Option B, 200 millimeters. Option C, 180 millimeters. Option D, 150 millimeters. The correct answer is option B, 200 millimeters. Explanation. Near rail joints or fish-plated joints on girder bridges, sleeper density is increased. The clear gap between joint bridge timbers is strictly restricted to a maximum of 200 millimeters. Question 104. The top table of the guardrail for BG, MG, and NG should not be lower than that of the running rail by more than Option A, 30 millimeters. Option B, 25 millimeters. Option C, 20 millimeters. Option D, 15 millimeters. The correct answer is option B, 25 millimeters. Explanation. To ensure effective wheel flange guidance during a derailment event, the top level of the guardrail table must not sit lower than 25 mm below the top table level of the running rails. Question 105. On the bridge approaches, for a length of how many meters? PSC sleepers with arrangement for fixing guardrails should be provided irrespective of the type of sleepers in the track. Option A, 80 meters. Option B, 75 meters. Option C, 100 meters. Option D, 125 meters. The correct answer is option C, 100 meters. Explanation. Approach tracks on either side of major bridges require specialized pre-stressed concrete guard rail sleepers over a length of 100 meters to anchor and extend guardrail flared ends securely. Question 106. On the bridge approaches, for a length of about 100 meters, width of cess should be how many centimeters clear of full ballast section? Option A, 50 centimeters. Option B, 70 centimeters. Option C, 90 centimeters. Option D, 100 centimeters. The correct answer is option C, 90 centimeters. Explanation. To maintain embankment shoulder stability and provide safe working space for track maintenance personnel near bridge approaches, a minimum clear cess width of 90 centimeters beyond the ballast toe is mandatory over a length of 100 meters. Question 107. Paint is the mixture of option A, binder, pigment, and solvent. Option B, binder and pigment. Option C, pigment and solvent. Option D, none of these. The correct answer is option A, binder, pigment, and solvent. Explanation. Paint chemically consists of three essential constituents: pigments for color and corrosion resistance, binders or vehicles for film formation, and solvents or thinners for viscosity adjustment. Question 108. Oil bath bearings are generally provided for girders of spans above how many meters? Option A, 76.2 meters. Option B, 45.7 meters. Option C, 60 meters. Option D, 30.5 meters. The correct answer is option A, 76.2 meters. Explanation. Heavy roller and rocker bearing assemblies on large railway bridge spans exceeding 76.2 meters are encased in oil baths to ensure continuous lubrication and prevent environmental corrosion. Question 109. Roller rocker bearings are provided in girders of span how many meters and above? Option A, 30.5 meters. Option B, 45.7 meters. Option C, 18.3 meters. Option D, 24.4 meters. The correct answer is option A, 30.5 meters. Explanation. Open web and heavy plate girders with spans of 30.5 meters and above require roller rocker bearings to accommodate high longitudinal thermal expansion and angular rotations safely. Question 110. The channels get twisted symmetrically with regards to its axis. Option A, parallel to web. Option B, parallel to flanges. Option C, perpendicular to flanges. Option D, perpendicular to web. The correct answer is option B, parallel to flanges. Explanation. In structural channel sections subjected to eccentric torsional loading, symmetrical twisting forces act about the principal axis running parallel to the flanges. Question 111. Stiffeners are used in a plate girder. Option A, to reduce the compressive stress. Option B, to reduce the shear stress. Option C, to take the bearing stress. Option D, to avoid buckling of web plate. The correct answer is option D, to avoid buckling of web plate. Explanation. Thin web plates in structural steel plate girders are susceptible to shear buckling under heavy vertical shear loads. Intermediate vertical and horizontal stiffeners are welded or riveted to enhance web buckling resistance. Question 112. The minimum pitch of rivet holes of diameter D should not be less than. Option A, D. Option B, 1.25 D. Option C, 1.5 D. Option D, 2.5 D. The correct answer is option D, 2.5 D. Explanation. As per Indian standards and railway steel bridge codes, to prevent bearing failure of plates and allow proper installation clearance for rivet heads, center to center minimum pitch must be at least 2.5 times the nominal rivet diameter. Question 113. Frequency of painting of steel girder bridges in coastal areas. Option A, every year. Option B, once in 3 years. Option C, once in 5 years. Option D, once in 6 years. The correct answer is option B, once in 3 years. Explanation. High salinity and atmospheric humidity accelerate metallic oxidation in marine and coastal zones. Therefore, complete repainting of steel bridges in coastal areas is mandated once every 3 years. Question 114. Frequency of painting of steel girder bridges in non-coastal areas. Option A, every year. Option B, once in 3 years. Option C, once in 5 years. Option D, once in 6 years. The correct answer is option D, once in 6 years. Explanation. In inland non-coastal environments where atmospheric corrosion rates are significantly lower, complete protective repainting of steel bridge structures is executed once every 6 years. This concludes the complete narration for questions 92 to 114 of the IRBM Part 5 series. Best of luck with your examination.